Hi, my name is Guy Shavit, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to troubleshoot a Signamax 10100 to 100FX media converter. This series has several models for different fiber types, distances, and connectors, but all behave similarly and have the same troubleshooting procedure. The first issue we're going to troubleshoot, none of the LEDs are on. Specifically, we see the power LED on the top right is off. In that case, we want to check that the power adapter is connected, there's power at the outlet, and if we have another Signamax media converter, we can swap adapters, and that would be ideal. Now we can see the power LED comes on, and the link activity LEDs are flashing. If the power LED does not come on, contact Signamax technical support. This time we have power, but the top left LED is off, which is the fiber link. We're going to go over several possible reasons. The first is to make sure that the two active devices and all the fiber between them are compatible. This is a 100FX multimode media converter. I checked the media converter on the other end and it is also a 100FX multimode. A gigabit 1000 base SX would not be compatible and would not work. I need to make sure all the fiber cables are multimode. We're going to look for writing on the jacket that says either the standard it complies to, so OM1, 2, or 3, etc. for multimode, or OS2 for single mode, or the core diameter, which is going to say something like 9/125 for single mode, or 50/125 and 62.5/125 for multimode. This cable says 9/125, so that's a single mode fiber patch cord. This one says OM3, so it's a 50 micron multimode. This one says 62.5, which is an OM1. Our media converter works with both 62.5 and 50 micron multimode, but you need to use the same diameter from end to end. That means patch cords should match the fiber cable. So if it's an older 62.5 cable, get OM1 62.5 patch cords, not newer, better OM3 50 micron, because you lose a lot of light when you do that, and depending on the distance and the quality of the connectors, it might work or not. You might be able to use the jacket color. For example, orange is OM1 62.5, aqua is a 50 micron multimode, and yellow is single mode. But I always prefer to find printed label if possible. Since we have OM3 50 micron fiber, I will use this OM3 fiber cord, and we can see we now have a fiber link, and it is flashing, which means we have activity. Here again we have no fiber link, but we checked the cables, and they are all compatible. The first thing I like to do is to make sure that the fiber is crossed, since we need the transmit on this media converter to connect to the receive on the other end. Instead of tracing the fiber strands end to end, I'll just swap the strands here, and we can see that that was our problem, and we now have a fiber link is up and active. In this case, we have no fiber link again. We checked all the components are compatible, and we tried swapping the strands. But we're still not getting a fiber link. So at this point, what I like to do is bring the other media converter to the same location and use a known good fiber cord to see if the issue is with the media converters or with the fiber. I'm getting a fiber link, so that tells me the problem is somewhere in the fiber between the two locations, and I'm going to need to get the fiber tested. Here we brought the media converters to the same room, connected them via a known good patch cord, and we still have no fiber link. The only thing left to check is on the dip switches here on the back. The dip switch number 5 on both media converters is set to the down position. That dip switch controls the duplex mode on the fiber. Down is full duplex, and we want to make sure that they match. So they do in this case, so I know I have a problem with the media converters, but I don't know which. So what I'm going to do is a loopback test. I'm going to take a single strand of fiber, for example, the one that's labeled A here, and loop it back to itself. I'm not getting a link on this media converter, but if I take the same fiber to the other media converter, I am getting a link. So this media converter is fine, and this media converter is not. It needs to be repaired or replaced. This time we have a fiber link, but we don't have a copper link, which is this middle top LED. In this case, the media converter is connected to a camera through a PoE injector. We want to make sure the camera is powered up and connected. In this case, we can see the injector was unplugged. Once we plug it in, we'll see the LEDs showing that it's providing power to the camera. And once the camera comes up, we see that the copper link is up. Here, we don't have a copper link, but the camera is powered up and connected, and we can even see that it looks like it's trying to negotiate the link. So what we're going to look at is the dip switches on the back of the media converters. Dip switch number 2 controls if it auto-negotiates when it's in the down position, or if it's a fixed speed and duplex when it's up. Some legacy devices don't support auto-negotiate, and of course, if it's set to a fixed speed duplex that is different than the device, then that won't work either. We're going to move dip switch number 2 to the up position, so it's fixed, and then dip switch number 3 is going to control the speed. Down means 100 megabit, up is 10 megabit, and dip switch number 4 in the down position means full duplex, which is what we want. In order for that to take effect, we need to reboot the media converter, and we're going to wait 10 seconds, plug it back in, and now we see that we got a link because apparently this camera only supports fixed 100 megabit full. In this case, we have power but no fiber or copper link. These media converters have a feature called link fault signaling that will detect if one of the links is down and drop the other as a signaling mechanism. Unfortunately, that means when it's enabled, we see both links down, we don't know which one we need to troubleshoot. So we're going to turn this media converter around, look at the dip switches. Dip switch number 1 is down, which means LFS is enabled. So I'm going to disable LFS by moving dip switch number 1 up and reboot the media converter. We're going to wait 10 seconds, plug it back in, and now we see that we have a copper link but no fiber. So we know we need to troubleshoot the fiber link like we did earlier in the video.